Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. It is follow-up Friday, so I wanted to follow up on the races, a couple of the primaries that I was keeping an eye on in Massachusetts. You may have already heard they took place almost 2 weeks ago, but Richard Neal unfortunately won his primary race against progressive Alex Morse in Massachusetts' 1st District. So it appears that the Democratic smear campaign against Morse actually worked. If you're a regular viewer or listener of this show, you know that some college Democrats at the University of Massachusetts were working with state party officials, as it turns out, to run basically what amounts to a political hit job on Alex Morse. They tried to paint him as a predator who was using his position of power as a local mayor to meet and date college students. The entire narrative was completely debunked, and the Intercept news outlet wrote a series of articles which included really damning text and app messages as well as emails, which proved that the whole thing was really just a contrived effort to destroy Morse. So, I mean, for one reason, it appeared that at least one of the college students involved could secure a job with Richard Neal, which is beyond gross, but also because he will keep and maintain the status quo. He will allow members of Congress to continue to grift and get their donations from big dollar donors and corporate America and throw us under the bus, throw we the people under the bus. So the problem is that because of COVID, many people voted early and they voted by mail. So before the truth emerged, unfortunately, I'm sure that if we didn't have COVID going on and more people actually went to the polls on the day of and they had a chance to read the Intercept articles or find out about this whole hit job on Alex Morse, they may have voted differently. I'm very curious to know how many people sent in their ballot early and then learned the truth and wished that they could change their vote. You know, this definitely seemed to favor the corporate-owned establishment puppet, Richard Neal, and he's there again. You know, he's now going to be there for a 17th term, but it definitely wasn't the blowout you'd expect for an incumbent Democrat who holds a great deal of power in the position he's in, given the committee that he chairs. And as I said, you know, he's had 16 terms in Congress. So you would expect someone like that with a lot of power, with a lot of name recognition to really blow it out. But as of September 3rd, this was the most updated information that I could find. The Associated Press reported that Neal received 58.83% of the vote and Morse received 41.17% of the vote. Now, you know, one might say, well, that's pretty huge. That seems like a pretty big blowout to me. But considering that this was Morse's first time running for Congress and that he didn't have anywhere near the amount of money that Richard Neal had, and he didn't have anywhere near the name recognition of Richard Neal, he fared pretty well against this guy. So if Morse runs again in 2 years, I would say there's a high probability that he's going to win. Because just like with Cori Bush, she really did get blown out in the first race that she ran in. But now, I mean, she ran this second time this year, and she absolutely just smeared her competition. She took out an incumbent Democrat who was doing nothing for the district. So hopefully, if nothing else, I really hope that this close call and all of the national media attention from this smear job against Morse will make Richard Neal consider before each vote. I hope that he will think twice before he votes again, as he's been doing for 16 years, to give the farm away to another one of his corporate donors. I, for one, will be keeping an eye on his policy proposals and any votes that he takes from here on out. And I will definitely keep you guys informed about his shady dealings. So that's the not so great news. I mean, some silver lining in it for the future. And maybe we've put people like Neal, hopefully Neal and others like him on notice that we're coming for them if they don't get their shit together. But yeah, at least in the Kennedy versus Ed Markey race, Markey won. So also in Massachusetts, also on that same day, he destroyed Kennedy, who was a faux-gressive. And yeah, Markey has some stuff in his history that progressives aren't that thrilled with, but he supports a Green New Deal and he gets it. He understands that if he is going to keep his job and remain in the Senate, he has got to move to the left. He has to embrace progressive values, progressive policies that are going to move the country forward and that are going to benefit average working people. Hopefully he continues with this. Hopefully he understands that you will be primaried. You will be primaried by a progressive if you don't keep moving in this direction. And hopefully everybody else, like I said, hopefully everybody over there on Capitol Hill understands we're not playing. This isn't a game. As Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks said, we're boarding the ship and we're going to take over. As always, guys, like, share, subscribe. I will talk to you soon. Take care. Thanks for listening to Plants and Politics. The only way we can take our country and power back is to spread the truth and build an army. So remember to like, follow, subscribe, and share on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. Thanks again.